Welcome to the Emporium Outdoors. My name is Michael and today we're out for an overnight camp in this beautiful October weather. So today's video is going to be an overnight camp. We're going to be camping out in a bivvy tonight, something different. Haven't done that for a little while. Because the weather's so mild, it's probably around +5 right now in October. So we are getting pretty wild. Last week when I camped out, we had 3 to 4 inches of snow, and you can see how different it is right now. So the plan is to try and capture a grouse, and we're going to do a catch and cook. If I don't get a grouse, then I'm pretty much going hungry. I brought a bit of bread, whatever, but no meat. So that's my only meat source. So I'm hoping it's going to work out. Obviously got the Polaris Ranger midsize, the North Star, with me today. And as always, it's doing a fantastic job. And we've just been heading down these trails, just beautiful trails right now, the wild weather and just the quietness. It's beautiful. All you can hear is the squirrels in the background and the occasional bird. But yeah, most of the leaves have come off now, so it's looking exceptionally beautiful. So I've been very impressed with the Polaris midsize. I've taken it down some really tight trails that I didn't think I'd be able to get down because the width was very narrow. I certainly couldn't have made it through with my Can-Am Defender, the HD10 I used to have. And with this much narrower model, I think it's 56 inches wide, it does a good job of getting through those tighter trails. One of my biggest fears of going down to a mid-sized machine was whether I could fit 2 full-size adults in the cab without feeling cramped, and I can report that I don't feel cramped. It actually works out pretty good. It's not as big as the larger machines, but it's certainly not small. Clearing the trails is a bit of a battle between me and nature. I used the Vosselica Scrama 240, which is an excellent chopping knife. It's pretty long, pretty heavy, does a good job. And for the bigger stuff I use the Silky Big Boy XL, and if it's really big I'll grab the big chainsaw and take care of it that way. I find if I do a bit every time I go down the trail, it tends to keep them in good order. There's obviously going to be some big blowdown occasionally where you're going to have to clear a full-size tree, but for the most part this is good honest work which I enjoy doing. And it also sets me up pretty good for winter. All these branches get loaded down by the snow and get pushed into the center of the trail. You may notice on this clip this 22 round doesn't want to feed very well. It's because the barrel's dirty and I need to give it a good scrub. It still feeds okay in the end and fires, but I really should clean that barrel as soon as I get home. The double barrels really give you an opportunity to either take with a 22 or the 410 shotgun. Over the years I've taken so much small game with this rifle, it's been an excellent investment. I don't think there's a better gun out there for small game, rabbits, grouse, etc. Very compact, easy to carry, and it does double duty with the 2 barrels. The scope is a cheaper Bushnell 1:4, so I can use it just as a sight guide for the shotgun at 1 power, or I can dial it up to 4 power to use the 22 for more accurate shots. For ammo I use the 22 CCI subsonic solid tips, and that way it doesn't fragment inside the animal, it's easy to clean out. With the ammo being subsonic, many times you'll get a follow-up shot without the bird even realising what's happening, and it also means you don't have to wear any sort of ear protection. Just deciding which way to go here. This is a new part for me. I've never been down this trail to the full end before, so I decided to go right, and I found this whole new logging area that was both impressive and at the same time pretty destructive, but I understand how the lumber business works, and in order to keep all these roads and facilities open, they're going to take some lumber. They do plant afterwards, so it is a cycle. Some areas will get torn down, others will build up for future generations to come. So I'm good with it as long as they're responsible. You might be able to make out there's a doe with a younger fawn by the looks of it, maybe this year's, and they're heading off in different directions. But they'll be meeting up again pretty soon. So that was the end of the road. I was hoping it was going to meet up with another trail that I know. Unfortunately it didn't. I use Gaia Maps as my primary mapping software and I like it very much. So I managed to get another bird. Took this one with the 22, same as the last one. So we're just going to clean this up. So today I just wanted to show you what knife I've been using, and it is the Leatherman Signal. So I have done a couple of videos on this already, a bit of a review, and I feel this is a really good environment for this particular Leatherman. So what makes this one unique, I'll just go over them real quick, is you've got this diamond sharpener on one side and you have a fire steel on the other, and you've got a set of pliers and a few basic tools. One of the ones I like is this one. So that's the fire steel right there, but it's also whistle, which is a great idea. And that just clips all the way back in. If I can get it right. And it has can opener and a bit driver. Bit driver is the thing I have a bit of a problem with, because you can't use it closed like this. Kind of it's out of the way, so not ideal. But today, obviously, sorry, just has a saw and knife blade. But because I've been cleaning birds, etc., got a bird in one hand, bring the knife up, and it's very easy to flick open. So it's been working out really good today. One-handed on this is great. It's actually quite light, and it's easy to get to and from, like so. So let's go ahead and clean this bird. So basically I just breast the bird out. You stand either side of the wings and pull the legs. But I'm going to keep the legs. And if you're liking the content so far, please consider subscribing. It really does help me out a great deal. I have lots of winter camping videos planned for this year, so make sure you don't miss out. I'm just looking for the joint, which is there. Quick cuts. And there's your leg. We got not a huge amount of meat, but these make really good like chicken wings. So what you're left with is the breasts. So we'll just peel all this off. You have to keep one wing on for identification, in case conservation officer or fish and game want to check your limit, etc. We'll take off a few of these feathers. There we go. One chicken breast, two chicken breasts, one wing. So there you have it. This is the Leatherman Signal, and it's a great camping, hunting knife. That's where this really shines. It's not really an everyday carry, in my opinion, for tasks where you're going to be using a screwdriver or other tools. But it works really well. One-handed is excellent for this type of work. And obviously having the pliers is awesome too. Yeah, Leatherman Signal. I've owned this still MS 250 for about 15 years and I haven't had any problems at all with it. I think I've given it a couple of services in that time and it just runs and runs. It's a perfect balance between size and portability and power. So we've arrived at our little camp spot. Just stand up. It's actually in this burnt forest, which, if you've been watching the channel for a while, this used to be one of my favourite spots till it all got burnt, but I keep coming back here just to see the progress. And you can see the trees are starting to come back already. Nature's quite incredible. And down there we've got the river. which is kind of interesting. Because if I just walk this way a little ways, you can kind of see it's getting higher. And you can see the beavers have been very busy, and they've built a lovely beaver dam right there. There's probably a lodge close by. It's kind of filled up that whole area. So that's good. Not sure if there's enough food for them here because all the trees are dead. So I don't know if there's any beavers there anymore, but they'll return. So the plan is to set up camp just around kind of here, find somewhere flat. But I do need to take this tree out because it's going to make great firewood for a long time. Plus it's kind of in the way. I used to run my hammock from this tree to this tree, which are both pretty burnt right now. So I just want to clear out some of these dead standing trees. Like I said, the wood will go to firewood, but as they age, they're going to become more unstable. So actually for these trees, I want to cut them higher up. I'm not going to do that today. And then take the tops off so there's nothing to fall on me, but I'll still have a hammock spot. And then I'll probably clear out the rest of the trees and then give the new trees a decent chance. On this side, river flows down there. This side, the trees are all pretty spindly. So yeah, that's the trees I'm gonna take care of right now. This one in particular, right there. So that tree had a bit of a lean to it, which I knew, but I put it exactly where I wanted to do. Had to give it a bit of a touch. But if I had a wedge, I would have wedged it. I kind of got it where it was going to go. But see how it had the trunk, has this little, it's kind of leaning backwards slightly. But I'm going to cut this up for use later on. And that's one less tree I have to worry about falling down and killing me in the night. This is a Siberian log fire and it should burn all night long. I also bucked up some of the other wood for future trips, and I also stood up a log that I've already pre-cut. This will be used in my next camping trips in this area, so that'll be a little bit less I have to do. So one of the things I like to do when I'm out is keep my saw up to spec. So I've got this tiny little vise. I didn't bring my axe, so I'm hopefully going to be able to that work. Hopefully I can get that out. There we go. And a marker pen. I'm just going to mark one of the teeth so I know where I'm at. all done. So this is what the file looks like. So it has direction, has which way the saw should be orientated, and basically line this up with the blade or the chain. Go to town. What makes this pretty unique is it has actually 3 files in it. So you've got the round ones for the cutting teeth and the flat ones for the guides on top. So it actually adjusts the whole chain with one filing. So I did 4 strokes per tooth, so make sure it balances out. I think we should be all good. So I just have these 2 breasts in ciabatta, and I think it's going to be good. Just have some butter. Already has the spice on it, so let's give it a go. It's good. That's awesome. So my plan is to eat the rest of my sandwich. I've got some things to do before bedtime. I've got about 45 minutes left of sunlight. The sun will disappear behind those hills. The wind should actually calm down by that stage, and I've got some camera equipment to set up for some time lapse for the stars. So that sounds pretty exciting to me. Just drop some chicken on the floor. Shoot. 5-second rule. So I've got a super simple setup for tonight. I've just got a Siberian log fire. I have the Gore-Tex outer to the US MSS sleep system and my trusty old Teton sleeping bag inside with a Thermarest camp mat underneath.
Well, good morning everyone. It was actually a pretty good night, but it did rain quite a lot. Didn't expect the rain, or else I would have created some sort of shelter. But I was just in the bivvy on its own, and I'm nice and dry inside, but just feel a bit colder than it did before. Yeah, so I didn't expect that, but the fire does have some life left in it, so I'll probably stoke that up and we can get some breakfast. So I got my sandwich, I got my coffee, so I'm very happy now. Beautiful morning. So I was expecting the rain to come around 10 o'clock this morning, but obviously it came much earlier, probably around 4 o'clock, and rained for maybe 3-4 hours. But the Gore-Tex bivvy bag actually did a good job. Everything's dry inside, so that worked. But looks like it's going to be a beautiful morning. So, yeah, let's get on with the breakfast. Well, we're all packed up, ready for the off. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. And if you really like the channel, maybe consider subscribing. And until next time, take care.
Before anyone mentions in the comments, I did go back and put out that smouldering fire. I had to do the drive away shot first and then go down to the river and get the water. So until next time, take care. And as always, thank you very much for watching. If you like my videos, leave me a comment, maybe a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.